Hello, YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about signs and visions from God, or the universe, or source, or whatever you want to call it. God, the universe, is constantly in motion. It's energy in motion. So it's constantly changing and evolving, just as us as human beings. And since we're always constantly evolving, our minds are constantly learning new things. When I was 17, my mind learned how to talk to God. Now, when I mean talk to God, I mean literally there was a voice in my head and I was listening to it. And I know that may be screaming to you mental illness, but that's what I was thinking. Okay? But a lot of people think this when they hear the voice of God. So, the voice of God is the voice of the universe. It's the voice inside of you. It's you, because you are the universe. You are God, okay? God is all living things. It makes complete sense. So, there are synchronicities all around us, because we are always in perfect harmony, because we are all one energy, the energy of God, and God makes no mistakes. God always knows what it's doing. Even if God itself thinks, oh God, I'm lost, it's okay, because we are in the temple of God, being in a living creature, okay? And we're constantly meant to be evolving. And when we evolve, we start to learn new things, and we learn how to communicate with our higher self, which is our heaven upstairs. Heaven or hell. So, heaven is a state of mind. Heaven is on earth. And so is hell. Hell is a state of mind. Hell is on earth. There is only now. There's not the afterlife. There's only now. If there was an afterlife, how do you know that it's not right now? Because this is all we know. This is all that we know. And to say that we aren't in the afterlife cannot be proven, because we don't know what happens when we die. Okay? Energy evolves constantly. It constantly evolves, and there's always a constant knowing within us, because we're gods. We're God together in one body, okay? The body of God. And the body of God knows all, and it knows what's happening around it, okay? It knows that Casey over there is a little angry. You ever just know because you can feel it? Sweetheart, that's because God is speaking to you. How would you know Casey is angry if you did not talk to Casey? You don't, but yet you do. You shouldn't know, but you do. How does that make sense? It is telepathy. Now, when I say telepathy, I don't mean we're in an alien movie, even though we kind of are, because we're a floating rock in outer space. I mean we are using empathy as telepathy. So empathy and telepathy are two very similar words. Empathy is energy in motion, okay? Empathy and emotions go hand in hand. And when you have an emotion, your brain waves, okay, give off that emotion so other people can pick it up with their brain. Meaning, we're all telepathic. Because everyone feels a vibe, okay? It's not just you. It's the whole room. It's the whole world. They know what Casey over there is thinking. because they can sense it. It's not about reading thoughts. It's about reading energy. Because energy and thoughts go hand in hand. Okay? So, when we are telepathically connecting with Casey over there, she's literally telling us, hey, I'm angry. Her God in heaven, upstairs, is going, hey, I'm angry. I'm angry, and I want you to know. So I'm going to communicate with you through your brain using empathy, using telepathy, using whatever you want to call it. Empathy, telepathy, reading vibes, all the same. They're all the same thing. And since they're all the same thing, it means that they all just go together. They're all the same. That's it. And Casey over there, she gets a little horny sometimes. Okay? And, you can feel that. It's not just Dave over there being creepy. Okay? He's thinking sexual thoughts. You're creeped out for a reason, okay? And Casey over there, maybe you're a little aroused, and Casey, you're feeling the vibe of Casey. Okay, and then she starts to moan, and you're like, wow, how did I know that? Telepathy, empathy, hello. It goes hand in hand. You go, wow, Casey over there sure looks sexy today. And then you go, wow, I wonder if she has the hots for me because I'm starting to get a boner. And then Casey goes, ah, and she moans, and then you're like, wow, that just matched up to what I was thinking. Well, I wonder why. It's because we're all telepathically connected creatures. We all have empathetic, telepathic possibilities. And it's all natural, okay? When someone's staring at us from afar, you turn your head and you see someone staring at you. Telepathy. Energy and motion. They're letting you know, hey, I'm looking at you. And that's why you know to turn your head. Empathy. Telepathy. They are the same. Okay? You felt their vibe because their God upstairs was telling you, hey, I'm looking at you. And then you said, oh, I'm scared. And then, lo and behold, meth head Jesus over there is staring at you. Okay? Meth head Jesus over there has the hots for you. But you try to run away. Okay? Because we don't like meth head Jesus. We don't like him. He is doing too much crack tonight. Okay? So, he is telepathically communicating with you. Even from afar. Now, this happens a lot of the time. A lot of the time we telepathically connect with people, even over the phone. Mom, I'm calling you. And then you're about to tell her that you just won the lottery, and then she goes, I have a feeling. I just have a feeling we're going to win the lottery. And then you go, oh my God, Mom, I was just about to tell you I just won the lottery. Stuff like that can happen over the phone. Okay? You can telepathically connect to people from afar. Because God, upstairs in our thoughts, is telling us these things. And when you listen to the voice upstairs, the voice in heaven, it's telling you, this is a fact, this is what's happening. Okay? So, you listen to God when it tells you, hey, this girl's a bitch. You listen to it. Because that's your intuition. That's God saying, hey, this girl's a bitch. And lo and behold, a few days later, you find out how much of a bitch she is. Because you were right. Because guess what? God told you. God upstairs told you, hey, this girl's a bitch. And it's completely natural. Not to be a bitch, but to telepathically connect with your environment. That is also a part of why synchronicities appear. Is because we are telepathically connecting to our environment. our environment, we know what's going on in it, okay? And we can pick up these patterns. And these patterns like to say hello sometimes. Sometimes they feel like they're alive. Because guess what? It is alive. That is God outside. God is inside and God is outside. God is within and God is without. Okay? So, God talks to you inside before he talks to you outside. Okay? But you have to listen to the voice inside your head. And if it's a negative voice, we don't like to listen to that. We like to listen to the good voice. Because the good voice is the only voice that matters. It's the one that's our friend. Okay? So, hopefully there's not 20 voices in your head because, well, I'd hate to tell you that might be schizophrenia. Or you might just be picking up a lot of telepathic voices from different realms. You never know. So, I believe in different realms because I've experienced these realms. And I have to say, these realms are very weird. Just like this one. Have you ever just thought, wow, life is weird. I have to work, and then I come home and I'm depressed. And then I say, oh God, I hate my husband. But yet I don't break up with him because I want money. Is that what it is? I don't know. But, if you have a husband and you hate him, maybe you should break up with him. Because, honestly, he's not that great. And you know that. And yet, for some reason, you go, wow, life is weird. Yet, I make this decision. Well, that's your fault, sweetheart. That's not his fault that you want to stay with him. That's your fault. Okay? So, you have to just take initiative and go, yeah, I'll just break up with him. Because that's what you should do. You can rely on yourself. Because you don't need a man to rely on for financial support or for anything. Okay? Now, when you listen to the voice in your head, and the voice tells you, my husband doesn't love me. He doesn't want to have sex. He doesn't want to kiss me. He doesn't even want to look me in the eyes. Well, guess what, sweetheart? He doesn't love you. Listen to the voice in your head. That's God speaking. That's him telepathically communicating with you, telling you, hey, I don't love you. And that's why you listen to the voice. Because the voice knows all. And the voice is telling you, but you have to listen. Because if you don't listen to God, why would God want to help you? That's like asking your mom for advice and being like, Mom, I'm not going to listen to you. What's the point? Why would Mom give you any more advice? Why would Mom want to talk to you about helping you anymore? No, God won't want to help you. God will just go, you can deal with it, and then not talk to you anymore. So you want to make sure you listen to God. Now, I'm not saying God has left you. I'm saying that God is always with you. God is always up here. We are God. Okay? That is heaven. Or hell. You want to be in heaven. So, listen to God. Okay? Listen to God when it speaks. Because if it tells you to move to New Hampshire or move to Idaho, you go ahead and do that. Because, sweetheart, there's no better time than now. There's no better time than right now. Because, honestly, this is all we have. And that's why. Okay? There's a lot of things in this world that are weird and unexplainable. And some things can only be explained via thinking. Now, I've done a lot of thinking in my life, and I can say for a fact that I know that we can telepathically communicate via emotions. Okay? Everyone knows this, but they don't see it as such. They see it as vibes. But, sweetheart, what do you think it is? It's telepathically communicating. Okay? Sorry, I have to clear my ear out. My ear is hurting. Well, anyway, you telepathically communicate. And when you do this, you have to listen to it because it's telling you something, right? So if it's telling you, hey, your soulmate's in Hawaii, well, maybe you should go to Hawaii, you know? Maybe it's telling you, hey, if you want to make money, start a business. Well, okay, I'll do that. Not? Huh? Are you lazy? Well, me too. I am lazy. That's why I have a YouTube channel. Because I'm lazy. And I want to communicate with people, but I can't always be doing that telepathically. Okay? Now, I've done it before with, I'd hate to say it, but celebrities. Now, I know this because the signs started to appear. Okay? Now, when you see signs, that is God speaking to you. And when God speaks to you, you listen. So, I've had lots of weird things happen. You can telepathically communicate with people far, far away. You can telepathically communicate with your soulmate right now. Even if they're in a different country, don't worry about it. Just know that you're telepathically communicating. Because guess what, sweetheart? They're your soulmate. You're bound by your soul tie, okay? Your soul tie has tied both of your souls together like this, the infinity symbol, okay? Infinity can mean forever or it can mean just for now, whatever you want it to mean, okay? Sometimes right now feels like forever, all right? But I'm just here to tell you, to listen to the voice in your head, because there's no better voice than the voice within. And the voice within is the voice of heaven or the voice of hell. But mine's the voice of God, okay? The voice of God has spoken to me and told me to help people. Because people are very angry. They're very emotional and they're very sad and abusive. And a lot of times when we fall in love, we don't even mean it. And we don't want to make it work. Oh, Dave cheated on me. Dave cheated on me. I hate his guts. Sweetheart, if you hate him that much, then you never loved him in the first place. Okay? Now, you need to learn to forgive people. Because we're all human. You're acting like you've never made a mistake in your life. Well, sweetheart, sometimes when you treat people like shit, they'll want to go somewhere else to get affection. And sometimes you just have to learn how to be better. And you have to learn how to forgive people. Because people, if you truly love somebody, you will forgive them. Okay? You will understand them. Because surely you can understand that there was a reason. Okay? Whether they were on meth, whether they're on drugs, whether they have schizophrenia, whether, he's just gay, or, stuff like that. It's just important that we understand these things. If we break up with someone and we cry and cry and cry, then why break up with them? Did you love them? Then stay with them. Understand their point of view. Because honestly, people, we're all human. We all make mistakes. And I've made mistakes. I'm not a perfect human. Nobody is. And I'm sure you wanted to sleep with someone right after you found out he was cheating on you. How? That doesn't make it any better. How do you think he feels that you want to do that? I mean, it's all the same. Okay? You still love him, right? Yeah, but he doesn't love me. Is that what it is? No, but I think it's just about forgiveness. It's about forgiving and about understanding. Because surely there was a reason. Okay? There was a reason, and that's why it happened. And sometimes you just need to talk about it. You just need to go, hey, I love you. I need to know how you are feeling. Are you not attracted to me? Do you not love me anymore? Don't attack people. that you love. Because when you love somebody, you treat them with respect. And you want to understand that we're not perfect creatures. We're not perfect creatures. We make mistakes, okay? Everyone is imperfect. We've all done something weird, okay? Weird, horrible, disgusting, nasty, who knows? We all do weird things. We're humans. Humans are weird, okay? And it's okay. But I'm talking about that because I think that that's very important in this life, is to learn how to forgive someone. If you love them, truly. If you don't, well then don't forgive them. It won't matter. Just don't complain when you cry and say how much you miss them, because that just means you need to forgive them. Hello? Sometimes it's only a big deal if you think about it that way. Sometimes you just need to think about it like this. Yeah, okay, I made mistakes too. Yeah, I was a bitch. Yeah, I was an asshole. Yeah, maybe that's why. And you just learn how to forgive, because sometimes people just want love. And sometimes if you aren't giving that, sometimes they want to go somewhere else for it, But you need to learn how to forgive. And that's the whole spiel right there. Enough about relationship advice. Now we're going to talk about our great ancestors, okay? This is a very touchy, weird topic, because a lot of the times this is very strange for the people of this society. Because we live in the society of high technology, of, not spiritual beliefs sometimes. So I'm going to talk about the tribal days, when we were in the Amazon rainforest, speaking to the trees, okay? The spirits speak to me. Now, the spirits, meaning God, okay? When you think about something, when I think about a shrimp, okay? I think about the shrimp, and I think about its sad story and how it came to be dead, okay? And I think about how grateful I am to have this shrimp, okay? Because I hope this shrimp had a good life. Because, well, my life so far, I don't know how it's been, honestly. And I can only imagine how that shrimp felt, okay? And sometimes we just need to realize that these creatures are alive. And they're still alive in spirit, okay? We can communicate with them through our minds and our imagination. Now, a lot of people would be like, wow, that's weird. And that's totally, completely fine, because it might be a little weird. But if I'm being honest, the tribal people used to communicate, they used to communicate with the spirits, with the animal spirits, with the plant spirits, okay? With the spirit of God. They used to communicate through the spirits through drugs, Sometimes, it takes some drugs to be doing that. But I haven't been on drugs in a long time. And I don't mean like meth. I mean shrooms, okay? Stuff like that. I took shrooms like 2 or 3 times. It wasn't a lot. But I'm going to tell you, I didn't really learn anything, because I already knew everything I needed to know. I learned everything I needed to know spiritually through listening to the spirits through music. Music is alive. Music is an energy form. It's a feeling. It's an emotion that someone else had, and someone else created the sounds and the frequency. They created the frequency to share their true emotions with you, okay? And you're feeling that, okay? That's why you like or dislike a song, because you're like, yeah, I like how this guy felt when he made this song. Because when musicians make a song, they feel it, okay? They feel the music. They don't think too hard. They just listen and they feel it, okay? And you can communicate through God via music. Sometimes signs come through music. Okay? Like, they used to talk to me, the songs. I watched lyric videos and the songs. This was during my awakening. I know, I just feel like I'm getting judged right now. Well, anyway, through my great awakening when I was about 17, I used to listen to the songs over and over. And I'd do that for like a year. And then I started to think I was going crazy because the songs started talking to me. But then I realized that that was God. And then God has led me to signs after that. And after God started talking to me, I met my soulmate. Okay? My soulmate at the time. And he was my soulmate because it was so magical. And when God starts to speak to you, you believe every single thing that goes through your head. Even if it's crazy. Even if it says, oh, a celebrity's going to come and be your soulmate. You believe these things because that's God. And when you listen to the voice of God, God delivers. Okay? Now, when God speaks to me, I always listen. And sometimes God speaks to me not through my head, sometimes, but through my environment. Okay? Sometimes God speaks to me through abstract symbolism. Okay? Like the shamanics used to use like these branches, okay, to find their way because they talk to the spirits. That's what I do. And I know it sounds really abstract, but that's what I do. And I know that it's strange, but I also know that it's me talking to God. Okay? I am in my body. I am the only thing that I know exists because I can only perceive through one perspective. Does that make sense? Therefore, I am God. Therefore, my energy is the truth. Okay? Therefore, we are all one. We are all the same being. Me and you. Just in case we all have different, consciousness. I believe there are lots of consciousness because we're all collective, but we're all in one body, if that makes sense. Like, we're all in one being. You know what I mean? You'll know what I mean if you know what I mean. Okay? It's not some kook hoobly joobly. It makes sense. Especially if you're me. But I hope you're listening because, when I see a sign, sometimes it's very abstract. And a lot of people would go, oh, that makes no sense if I were to tell them. And it's completely fine because my mom does that. I go, Mom, I saw this branch on the ground when I was thinking about this, and it was shaped like a dinosaur, just like what I was thinking about. And she goes, huh, okay. And that's about it. And she raised me, and it's okay. Because I know it's not everyone's calling to be one of these shamanic beings who believes in people. I'm not saying I'm more special, but I am saying that I do have this weird clairvoyant ability that not everyone has, because I can speak to you about this and you would nod your head like this. What? What are you talking about? Because you can't comprehend this. And it's completely fine because it's completely spiritual. And we're all on different spiritual wavelengths, on different spiritual paths, and it all just makes sense, okay? So you don't have to understand me. Not completely. You can understand some of it, as long as I'm helping you. That's what matters. Because helping people is what I want to do. I want to help people. That's why I'm here in this world, is to help the future. The future of people. Because people need help. They need spiritual help. Because a lot of us aren't very spiritual. But I am very spiritual. I talk to God all the time. And I always know when God sends me a sign. Even if it's that branch on the ground. Because that branch signifies something that I was just thinking about. Which means that God has given me the sign in reality. Because it's in sync. Does that make sense? So, when God talks to you, just listen. And when your husband cheats on you, learn how to forgive. Because forgiveness is a key important part in staying with someone and in someone's life forever. Okay? If you want these people forever, you have to accept their choices. You have to accept who they are and the mistakes that they make. Because nobody is perfect. You're not perfect. Just understand that we all have different patterns of thinking. We have different emotional wavelengths. And it's completely natural and fine. Okay? We learn to forgive. We learn how to love truly. Okay? And we learn that nobody's perfect. And that God is talking to us. Because God is within us. And you must listen to the voice. Because if you don't listen to the voice, then the voice is just gonna go, well, whatever. And then it's going to melt into you. It's gonna melt into just you being a robot, pretty much. A work robot working at the factory, for 12 hours, being a robot, not listening to God. When God tells you that guy over there thinks you're hot, okay? And yet you won't talk to him? Why not? If you think he thinks you're hot, you're probably right. Clairvoyance, telepathic capabilities, they are all real, okay? Everything in this life is abstract. Making money is abstract, okay? It's all abstract. It's all a weird abstract construct, and it's all very universally, crazy and gibberish, okay? This world is absolutely insane, okay? The people in it, they're crazy too. I'm crazy. But yet, in my heart, I know that God is within me. And God is telling me things, because things happen, okay? So listen to the voice of God, okay? Because if you think about it, God is constantly talking to you. And if you don't listen to God, why would God want to give you what you want? You know about manifesting? Manifesting is when you imagine, okay? You play pretend. And then all of a sudden it appears. Now why would that happen if we weren't gods? Answer me that. Because what can make something appear with their imagination but a god? Okay? A god can. And what did you just do? You imagined it and then it became real? And yet you think for a minute that you're not God? Well, I'm going to tell you, sweetheart, maybe you are. Maybe you are God, because God is within you. Which, doesn't that mean God is your body too? Okay? If God's within you, that means God's playing as you in this character. Okay? If God's playing as you, then God is hallucinating this reality. Like a giant drug trip, or whatever you want to call it. And it's really very strange that God would be in a body and not up in the sky. But yet God is up in the sky. Your thoughts, okay? Hello? You can't see thoughts. Where are thoughts? They're in the sky, in your head, okay? In your head is in the sky. And that's a fact. So, just don't worry about your future, okay? Don't worry about trying so hard. Because sometimes, sometimes it's just not what you want to do, okay? And if you don't want to do it, then don't. But I do think you should listen to God, because God will give you signs. And if God gives you a sign, sometimes it's in your best interest to listen. Because God is all-knowing, okay? And God is speaking to you through your environment. So listen. So everyone have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.